Hello, my loves. We all know that we live in a society that thrives off of stress, chaos, and the quickness of getting to here, getting to there, the rushing. If you've been wanting to embrace calm more frequently in your life, in your daily, then you found the right episode. In this episode, we will discuss what true inner peace is, why it matters, and how to cultivate presence throughout your day and create a personalized practice for yourself to be in calm more often. Hello, my wonderful people. I am your host, Carolina, and you are listening to Citadel Clarity, where we shed light on the old thinking patterns that are not working for us anymore and illuminate new positive thinking patterns to prevail over self-limiting beliefs, heal our hearts, and elevate self-esteem so we can tap into our higher purpose, who we truly are. Let's get to it. All right, my dears. We hear this word a lot, especially in phrases such as peace be with you, peace for humankind, peace on earth, but it always felt so far away because, I don't know, I always perceived it as a communal achievement, as if we achieve peace when everyone gets along and there's no killing and no lying and no division between us humans. Like, we are one big happy family. However, in reality, it isn't about others. Like, yes, the people who surround you are important, and having peace on earth is such a great goal for the human race. But it's truly about finding it within yourself. It's within you, and it's achievable, and it's freeing. Systems of oppression can't profit off of this because it's something within you. Hence, the constant need for your attention from your inner world, from you looking within. And it's honestly not something you need to create, to take, or to search for, but to recover, remember, and to return to. First, let's just dissect some definition and then the etymology of a few words for this episode. So 1, stress. It's a physiological and emotional response to perceived pressure, threat, or demand, and it activates the body's fight or flight response, releasing cortisol and adrenaline in our bodies. 2 is calm, a state of inner stillness and clarity where thoughts are gentle, the body is relaxed, and there is a sense of grounded presence. 3, peace, a deeper emotional and spiritual state of harmony and wholeness. It's a feeling of being in alignment with yourself and with your environment, free from that inner conflict. And 4, tranquility. It is the quality or state of being tranquil, calm. All right, let's get to the etymology. The word stress originates from the Latin word strictus, meaning tight or narrow. Also, the next word peace, in English, it originates from the Old French paix or paix. I think I'm saying that wrong. French is not my thing, which meant peace, reconciliation, silence, or agreement. These French terms trace back to the Latin word pax, meaning peace, compact, agreement, treaty of peace. The next one is calm. It originates from Italian calma, which itself comes from the late Latin quama, meaning heat of the midday sun. Then, in turn, is derived from the Greek word quama with a K. Guys, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but just go with it. It also signifying heat. So the word's journey through languages reflects a shift from physical heat to a state of stillness and quietness. And then lastly, the last word is tranquility. It originates from the Latin word tranquillus, meaning calm or peaceful, and it entered English through Old French. Here we go again. Tranquillité in the late 14th century, referring to a state of peace, happiness, and composure. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to tell you about Rumi. Rumi is one of my favorite poets from the 13th century. His wise words are literally, they're just beautiful and have lots of lessons. They literally are just like truth and light. Rumi's quotes on inner peace depict it as a state of calm, acceptance, and connection to the divine, emphasizing the importance of embracing the present moment and finding joy within oneself. I will read 2 Rumi quotes on inner peace. Quote, "All your anxiety is because of your desire for harmony. Seek disharmony, then you will gain peace. end quote. And I know you're probably like, wait, what? It kind of makes sense. It's kind of like the law of polarity. It's like for you to experience one thing, like happiness, you have to also experience sadness. So for you to seek harmony, you also have to seek disharmony. You have to understand both. It's an ebb and flow. It's a yin and yang. That is just the way of the world, dark and light, as above, so below. So he's just saying, unravel yourself, get out of your comfort zone to truly find the peace, the harmony you desire. Don't force this either, because remember guys, forcing things to our liking, controlling, it creates friction, it creates resistance. And when we do that, we do not allow the universe to give us what we desire, because you're telling the universe that you want more friction and you want more resistance, you want more of that energy. So do the opposite. But when we let go of what we think is and what we think how things should be, that's when we truly find peace, guys. Next, second quote, make peace with the universe. Take joy in it. It will turn to gold. Resurrection will be now. Every moment, a new beauty, end quote. Accept what is, accept and find happiness within it. It's that in between. I tell a lot of people this, like a lot of people set goals and they just focus on the end result, but always forget about the middle, the in between, the process. Enjoy the process, enjoy that little dash line, right? Enjoy it before you get to your goals. Because it's gonna go by fast. It's gonna go by. And then you're gonna miss that part of your life. Even if it is difficult, do the best you can to find some sort of joy within it or some sort of gratitude within it. So accept and find happiness within it. And when you do, you create treasures within that moment. That moment becomes priceless. It becomes infinite. And this leads you into new perspectives. And you can quantum leap because you're telling the universe that yes, in this moment it can be hard, but I'm going to see it for what it is. I'm going to embrace it and be in joy with this moment. And then from there, the universe is going to be like, well, you are in a joyful vibration. You are in a vibration and our outlook of like it will get better. So I'm going to give you more of that. I'm going to give you more of it will be better. We will give you more joy, more, instead of being stuck in that mind frame of like, well, it's never gonna get better. Like this is, of course, this is happening to me because it always happens to me. And the universe takes that as like yeah, you're right. It does always happen to you. So we're gonna like think of it like you go to a drive-through and you order food. Everything that you say, everything that you're putting out there, you're asking the universe for that. You will receive that at the end of the driveway. That's that. Moving forward. To wrap that up, inner peace is not about ignoring problems, guys, but finding a sense of calm despite them. So finding the beauty in the journey to establishing a practice of calm and inner peace. So this journey or trials and errors will be sloping hills and highs and lows, that polarity, but it will guide you to that inner stillness that connects you to yourself, to the divine, to your light, and you will look back and appreciate the steps you took to get to your calm. And I'm not saying that stress and chaos will never reach you. No. Life is messy. That's part of it. So they won't have the same effect or control over you once you have remembered and practiced and stayed consistent with the tools for your inner peace and calm. It will be different for everyone, of course. Some can come to it easily, and for others, it can take some time. However, the point is that there is something to learn while we get there, and we will continue learning after. We are constantly evolving as human beings. Okay, my loves, we are constantly evolving and we are constantly learning. So my loves, inner peace in today's world matters because there's so little attention to it. There's so little attention to practices that will get you to inner peace, like quiet spaces, stillness, a space to speak truth, or a space for hard or big emotions. Like these are the things that I would say a lot of people shy away from or consider taboos, or label it as something that is just not, it's just they don't like it. They don't like it because once upon a time their grandma and their great grandma said, or grandfather or aunt or uncle says something negative about it, and now the whole family down the line thinks the same way. In reality, Like these things are usually done in private, right? Where you're doing your deep breathing or you're journaling or you're meditating. Like there's not a lot of time for all that in your busy schedule. But so much time for other things like consumption and in external manners. No, I'm not judging either. Like, there is a space for all of it, correct? There is a time for, going out with your friends. There is a time to indulge in a good TV show. There is a time for all of that. But when is it time for you? When is it time to take care of you? Take a deep breath. Have some stillness within. Instead, we have been taught that all these other things, all these distractions, because that's really what it is, distractions, people, scandals, gossip, social media, entertainment, that trumps all the other things that are important to our well-being. So all of these things take up so much of our attention, keeping us from our own selves, causing us to be in a constant state of stress. And yes, people have responsibilities, families to feed and bills, like that is part of it. Sure, understood. But the point is that we have so little time for the things that actually keep us aligned. The opposite of peace and calm, my loves, is stress. It can come from overconsumption, a lack of balance in our lives. And to be honest, capitalism thrives from overconsumption. When I say overconsumption, that can be many things. Food, it could be media, it could be, just watching TV or constantly just doing something too much is never good. That will cause you to get into a fight or flight. Stress can, and this can vary for every individual. It can come from having too much coffee right before you give a presentation, when you receive bad news, or even watching the news. It is not talked enough about that the stress that you intake all day, every day of your life, will then be your genetic makeup. It literally alters your biology in a cellular level. And that is what has happened to our ancestors. Colonialism, imperialism, capitalism have done a number on our ancestors' nervous system that has been passed down from generations to generations to this present day, to us. So when we live a life of stress, it can lead to an unhealthy lifestyle, and the mind and body and spirit become affected, becoming infected. And with that, it becomes a challenge to obtain that inner peace. This is not disregarding how others deliberately disturb your peace. No, we must understand that there will be outside influences, systems, and institutions that thrive from chaos. And that is what we are seeing now, trying to get you out of your inner state of peace and keep you in a lower state of being, such as being in fear, in doubt, and guilt and shame. This is why it is even more important to know and practice cultivating peace in your life now if you haven't already. Do this for you so you don't have external forces driving you out of your peace of mind and feeding you for-profit ways to do the most natural thing we were meant to do as humans, and that is just to thrive, to be, being present in our bodies in peace. So it is so important to cultivate a sense of inner peace within your life, mentally and physically, to help you balance a healthy mental and physical state. Our bodies need peace to thrive, to do what we are meant to do here on earth, which is just to be, and to be in the present moment living, where we can just enjoy our lives, create, flow, prosper without any worry or fear or doubt. I'm not saying to expel the fear or doubt. It's more of just not having it run your life, because those feelings also are guides. They are guides to when we are out of alignment. So yes, we do need them. We don't need them to run the show. What we need right now is peace, flow, and alignment. So to achieve this, we need a healthy body. We need a healthy brain and a healthy perspective. But keep in mind, the goal is to achieve inner peace, a sense of not needing to prove or need for validation or comparisons, just doing what is right for you, your mind, and your body. Just peace that just being you here now is all that you need to live the life you desire. Okay, my loves, peace is safe. Everything is well. There is no need to overthink. Peace is soft. It doesn't force, it's ease. It doesn't need quick or rushed resolutions or results. Peace is knowing without the inner critic dictating you. that everything is working out for you always. Just like the ocean does. It flows, it curls, it splashes. It does not think about it, it just does. Or a tree, there's no worries. It flows with the changes of the season. It sprouts, it blooms, it grows and falls. And it is at peace. And I know that when we compare our humanness with things in nature, it can be hard to wrap our brains around it because we associate being human with emotions. But that's it. These things do not have the emotions, or at least they do not have emotions run everything. They don't allow emotions to get in the way of being of that inner peace. They just do. They just are. And also we need to come to the realization that we humans are a part of nature. We as a race have separated ourselves from the natural world. But honey, we are so in it. We are so natural, just like the tree and the grass and the flowers and the ocean. We do just like they do. I hope that made sense. And if you know, you know. If it resonates, then great. And if it didn't, it's okay. Here are some benefits of embracing calm. You have improved health, like reduced blood pressure, improves immune function, and lowers cortisol levels, which I want all that. Emotional balance, less reactivity, more clarity, and increased self-awareness. Stronger relationships. The calm allows us to listen and respond with compassion and hold space for others. There's also spiritual connection. Peace creates space for divine wisdom, intuition, and alignment with your higher self. And finally, there's greater focus and creativity. A calm mind has more room for inspired thought and intentional action. Okay, so here's some ideas to create your personalized practice of inner peace. But first, creating this practice is a journey. It's a journey of self-reflection and lots of self-compassion. If you need help with the self-compassion, listen to my episode on self-compassion because these two go hand in hand. And there are many tools one can use to help achieve inner peace. It will always start with getting real with yourself, being honest with yourself. So try experimenting and find what resonates with you personally. So for example, in my journey, I began by first listening to calming sounds such as frequencies and Tibetan singing bowls. I would listen to it during my commute, while working, and there are so many on YouTube. And I suggest my favorite, which is Chakra Vibrations and Inner Lotus Music. These are channels on YouTube. And then from there, I began to speak affirmations every morning in front of the mirror. I wrote down 15 affirmations that I believed I needed to tell myself. Affirmations I needed to hear for myself. I also listened to curated affirmations on YouTube. And this is the big reason why I began creating my own affirmations on my channel, is so I can hear myself affirm to myself. Next, I began to meditate. I started with chakra healing meditations because I honestly didn't know where to start. So I thought, let me get to the root of things and start with the root chakra and then move on up to the sacral and then the solar, heart, throat, third eye, the crown, all of it. So from here, I began to have realizations of points within myself that needed healing, like my self-worth, my creativity, which is in my sacral, my confidence, which is in my solar, my stability, my sense of security within me in my root, so on and so forth. So there is literally no right or wrong. There is no straightforward path. It's not linear. All right. So then I also began doing my daily walks, which turned into jogs. And then I was doing yoga in my living room, watching it on YouTube. But finally, I would do a lot of journal prompts for self-reflection to help release the things I was holding on to, or even reveal things that I didn't realize until writing them down. But here are some guided tools that you can do to help you with this inner peace journey. One, incorporating mindfulness, and that is just adding into your daily routine a sense of tranquility by cultivating present moment awareness. And this could just be journaling, gratitude practice, listening to calm music, nature walks, and meditation. Next is a regular physical activity. Start moving your body. Your body needs a movement, some shape or form. Your body needs an outlet for all that energy that's in there. So brisk walking, gentle, moderate yoga, dancing, cycling or swimming, or just a good old jog. And 3, identify personal triggers and develop like coping mechanisms for it. Practice self-reflection and journaling. You can use things like what happened, who was involved, how did you physically and emotionally feel, and what were the thoughts that came up. So journaling brings subconscious patterns into awareness. Over time, you'll begin to see consistent themes and triggers such as criticism, abandonment, feeling unseen, or losing control. Figure out these triggers also based off of how your body is reacting. Okay, do you have tight shoulders, shallow breathing, clenched jaws, or butterflies in your stomach, or racing heart? And some coping mechanisms for that could be like press your feet into the floor, place one hand on your heart and the other one on your belly, and do some deep breathing. Or you can do some sensory check-in like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. Another way you can analyze your triggers could be track emotional patterns in relationships. Notice repeated emotion reactions in certain dynamics. Like, are you always shutting down around authority figures or being defensive around loved ones? And when you feel triggered, ask, like, what part of me is hurting right now? And offer that part of you self-compassion and not shame and not judgment. Finally, the last one is improve sleep hygiene for stress management. When I tell you, sleep is vital. And this is just me coming from having my baby 10 months ago and not having the same amount of sleep that I did before my baby. And I will tell you that sleep is so important. My brain is not the same, and all the triggers, everything, when you don't sleep, like it's crazy. It's just crazy how different you are and how different you feel. So, get that quality sleep because it has been linked with reduced anxiety and improved emotional regulation. So for instance, establishing a consistent sleep schedule, creating a relaxing bedtime routine, and optimizing that sleep environment. Okay, so finally, here are just 5 daily rituals that people do to transform stress into peace. 1, start their day with intention. So begin each morning with like a 5 to 10 minutes of quiet, whether it's meditation, deep breathing, or prayer. This sets the tone for the rest of the day and it builds emotional resilience. Ground through movement, gentle yoga, walking barefoot in nature, or even mindful stretching releases tension for the body and signals safety to the nervous system. Create pause points. Set timers to pause during the day. Close your eye, breathe deeply, and check in with your body and ask, what do I need right now to feel safe and supported? Finally, simplify and protect your energy. Limit overstimulation by reducing screen time, noise, and chaotic environments. Create a calm physical space and use sensory anchors like incense, candles, or even calming music to help you ground. And at the end of the day, create a peace practice. Journal a few thoughts, express gratitude, or listen to calming affirmations. This helps your mind and body release the day and transition into a restorative rest. All right, my loves, as we come to the end of our episode, let's recap a few key points about how to embrace calm. Calm is a state of inner stillness and clarity, and there's a sense of grounded presence. 2, peace is the feeling of being in alignment with yourself and your environment, free from inner conflict. 3, when we train the brain to engage the prefrontal cortex regularly, we rewire our nervous system for peace, resilience, and inner safety, transforming stress into stillness. 4, the benefits: improved health, emotional balance, stronger relationships, spiritual connection, and greater focus and creativity. And 5, start your day with intention, ground through movement, create pause points, and simplify and protect your energy, and end the day with a peace practice. All right, my dears, we will end with a quote from an unknown individual. Quote, "Peace does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart." End quote. So that is the end of our episode, and I want to thank you for listening today from the bottom of my heart. I am so grateful that you took your time to listen, learn, and love. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to support the podcast, please subscribe, leave a rating and review. To stay up to date with Citadel Clarity, you can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Citadel Clarity, and or visit our website, citadelclarity.com. See you in the next episode. Peace and love.